Good morning, Don't Unfriend Me Nation. My voice is kind of back. Not that good. If it goes out, I hope it doesn't. If not, I'll eat some black licorice because I've heard that soothes the vocal cords like Ricola. You know what doesn't? Blackface. Who knew? I guess it's no longer appropriate to wear blackface. Well, wait a second. We've known that, right? So what happens when a child who's a Kansas City Chiefs fan wears a ceremonial Native American headdress and blackface? That's only half the story. Why? Well, because it's coming from the left. Stick around. I haven't done one of those in a while. Let me try again. Stick around. 15 seconds. We'll be right back. No, I wasn't making fun of mentally challenged people. Oh, good Lord. We're in trouble.
Do you want the truth? Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more f***ed up than the lies on the evening news? Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party.
Still Point, Don't Unfriend Me band, STIILPOINT, and this child, who looks to be a pretty serious Kansas City Chiefs fan, wearing a headdress. Those aren't cheap. Just telling you, they aren't. But is he truly wearing blackface? And honestly, who cares? Who cares? Is there anyone who cares? When you see this, do you immediately get up in arms? No, you don't. Why? Well, because you're not a Karen. And not necessarily a Karen, CARRON, or a KAREN, or a KARYN. I don't know how many other ways you can spell Karen. I'm sure it's plentiful. But we will go ahead and address this. And the writer who spells Karen, CARRON, and most assuredly is a Karen, from Deadspin. Ooh, very edgy sports column paper that challenges all the things going on that have nothing to do with sports, but everything to do with mock outrage and race baiting. He took this picture, selectively took this image alone, knowing, and everyone saw this kid. We watched the game. My daughter's a Kansas City fan. She's a Swiftie. Thank God Taylor Swift chose the Kansas City Chiefs, or all hell would have broken up in my house. But this is an image that everyone saw who watched the game. We saw the kid. They panned on him like 30 times in the game. There was no problem. And there also wasn't blackface. I'm going to explain. Because in this next photo, you can simply see that he was wearing the colors of the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, a lot of the leftists are saying, oh, clutch my pearls. Kansas City is just red, yellow, and white. No, they're not. They've got black in the color too. It's surrounding the arrowhead, the outline of the KC letters. And if you go to the NFL.com or any of the brand site, you'll see that all four colors are represented. And this child represented them properly. He wasn't going to wear red and yellow because that would be the Redskins. Oh, the Commanders. Sorry, that's another whole mock outrage BS. He wore black and red. And you know what? Who cares? Yet again, the kid looks happy. Thanks for singling him out and making him a target at school. We'll talk about that in a second. So if we're going to learn about this little kid and put him and plaster him over millions of people's pages, young and old will see him. Carron J. Phillips, he's a senior editor and writer at Deadspin. Here's his LinkedIn profile. I would love to show you more about him and tell you about what he has written that might be questionable. Oh, wait, I've got it, because the internet is a beautiful thing and I can do my research. Carron J. Phillips. White journalists are the only journalists who can get away with stuff like this. Well, I don't know, you're black. You seem to be getting away with this, okay, going after a kid. And this isn't even about your opinion. It's that you were allowed to publish a column that tells us that you're a biased voter. Biased voter isn't as bad as biased journalist, but that's kind of redundant and essentially what every journalist is. He also says, no, Trump is the epitome of when whiteness goes unchecked. Ooh. So that us, who's responsible for that indictment, is whiteness. Look around, slugger. The people who are hot dogging or holding, sorry, I'm going blind, him accountable in New York and Georgia are black. This is solely on white people. Y'all got to own that. Well, we've learned, my friend, not to own anything because we just don't have very good judgment when it comes to that. So we're going to pass. But I'm also not going to pass on is that I tried to talk to you. I tried to check my whiteness. I tried to engage with you and you blocked me. How Karen of you, no matter how you spell it, Mr. Phillips. But it's interesting. There was also another team playing, the Raiders, this guy who's at every single game and must have just oodles of cash sitting around to go to NFL games all across the country. He's wearing blackface. In fact, a lot of fans dress like this. Denver Broncos fans wear blue and orange face, but I guess that doesn't really matter since there's really no blue and orange people. But if there were, I'm sure you would be equally as offended. But you weren't. You weren't offended when Jimmy Kimmel dressed like Karl Malone, Ted Danson, Jimmy Fallon, Sarah Silverman. What about Joy Behar? Look at that. Look at that hair in her African garb. That looks like cultural appropriation. Or we can do the reversal too and look at Beyonce in whiteface. Certainly didn't seem to be upset about that, but I'm sure a child is what was truly triggering. It's interesting. If racism is so bad and everywhere is a racist, here's a racist, there's a racist, everywhere's a racist, I'm a racist, you're a racist, wouldn't you like to be a racist too? Then why is Bubba Wallace even in the paper? Why are people questioning the noose, which was simply a garage pull-down device to bring the door into the closed position or the open position, certainly not used for lynchings in NASCAR? And can we ever forget Juicy Smollett, the subway, make America great again, you're in MAGA country, as he hired two people to perpetrate a hate crime that never happened? I'm not saying that racism doesn't happen. I'm not saying that hate crimes aren't on the rise. Of course they are. But every time a yokel like this makes a false claim or makes a hoax, it takes the people who really went through it a little extra to get recognized and to get the justice that they need. The nuts straight on this is pretty simple. The only number that matters in all of this, all the statistics don't matter. There's people who will tell you that 1 in 3 of these supposed crimes are fake. Other people will tell you that less than 1% are fake. And none of that matters because only one needs to be fake. We've learned that with the Smollett and Bubba Wallace and the cries of rape and sexual harassment or any of the other things that have been made up in court trials. It impacts and degrades the truth and the people who truly have went through these atrocities. This kid has a lawsuit waiting of epic proportion, and I hope he gets every single dime. I hope he goes to any college he wants to. I hope he buys that stupid publication and then fires everybody. Because in the end, nobody cares. None of this has helped really quash racism in any way, shape, or form. All it does is continue to propagate its appeal to the intolerant because you keep bringing it up. If you tell every kid that they're a racist, if you tell every kid they're a sexist and they're a homophobic, then guess what? That's what they're going to be. And how privileged must you be, Karen, when a child cracks your delicate sensibility? My Lord. You're not even Native American. Calm down, Elizabeth Warren. It's ridiculous. Lastly, rice, cereal, butter, Dr. Seuss, and yes, even blackface or Dylan Mulvaney or Bud Light. None of it will stop racism or sexism or transphobic assholes because people being people is what they do. And in their hearts, you can't legislate that out of somebody. It's no longer a vacuum. We don't live in the 1960s. We have things for this. It's called your neighbors. It's called your friends. It's called human resources departments. We have laws in place. We have fines. Hell, we even have jail time enhancements if you go after someone and it's provable that you did it because of their race, color, creed, or sexual disposition. The days of corncob pipe gripping and hood-wearing assholes is in the past. They went from 700,000 people in the 60s, Democrats, to less than 2,700 in circulation now. Some of them live a ways across from me in my area, and they never come out. They know better. Nobody embraces the Klan. You've got a bunch of clowns. It's about time the left embraces and evolves, because we have. We're not necessarily focused on those things anymore. We're focused on the cost of food and the border and what's going to happen to our children as they have to fight a foreign war. We don't care that some kid is wearing ceremonial garb. You're just a Karen reporter who's biased. You're the same guy, very much similar to the person who went after the wreaths across America and went and tried to tear them down, who simply takes care of veterans of all race, colors, and creeds and sexual disposition by laying a wreath at their place of rest. Or the reporter who called all Marines white supremacists. Yes, I took care of you too, and I broke you down to your lowest common denominator. You live in a made-up world with made-up rules, and while you pretend to be a journalist, you come across as a schoolyard bully. Next time, pick on someone your own size. You should give me a try. Come on the show and defend yourself. I know you won't, though, because Yellowface doesn't have the same triggering ring to it, I am certain. Folks, thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me Show. We will be back tonight live with myself, Olivia, and I don't know, maybe somebody else will stop by. You should too. 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard. You can find us on Spreely.tv. You can go to thedumbshow.com and watch us live on the live link, or you can go to Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and all that if you would like as well. Stop by thedumbshow.com. Get yourself some cool shirts, some hats, some T-shirts. Shirts, hats, and T-shirts, whatever. Just go over there. There's great stuff. I will see you next time. God bless, and thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me Show.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.